Hello, welcome to the Chit Chat Knits podcast. My name is Darcy and I'm the maker at Chit Chat Knits. Today is September 12th and you can see that I'm at a different location. I'm visiting family again in Madison, Wisconsin and having a great time with my grandchildren. They're at school right now, so I thought I'd sit down and just show you a few projects I've recently finished. So let's have a little chat. First of all, you see what I'm wearing, a new sweater. This is a sweater that I designed. I showed you the yarn previously. This is spun right round, and it is in the tweed DK. And I've listed details in previous episodes, so I'm not going to go over all that again. But I did want to show you that I have a finished sweater, and I love it. It's a little warm today, let me tell you. I have the air conditioning on in here because it is a little warm. But I love the fit. I did a circular yoke, but then I added some raglan, in just a few raglan increases right down here, which for me makes a great shape. This time I actually put in a few decreases in the body, decreased a little bit here and then went back out a little bit at the hemline, just to give it a shape a little more shape. So you can see it has a little more shape. And then I also dropped the back a little bit on this one, just a few short rows. I did short rows at the top, back of the neck, and then I added short rows just at the bottom, just before the bottom ribbing again, just to give it a little drop shape, because I shaped it in and it wasn't just like a boxy shape. I added a little more, and then look at the detail. I love those eyelets just before the ribbing. I've got that again on the bottom. Just love it. Today I'm wearing it with just a t-shirt underneath. You can see it's just a kind of a gray t-shirt. I would probably wear this with a tank, like a tan or gray tank underneath. So I just have that on today. And you know, there are eyelets here, so I think with a natural color bra I'd probably be okay, but I'll probably be wearing it with a tank or a t-shirt anyway. You know, as we go into fall and the weather gets a little bit cooler. On the sleeves, I just I waited to do my sleeve decreases right here. So this is my sleeve all straight down, and then because I like that little bit of puff, I don't know if you'd call it a puff sleeve, but a little more room in the sleeve, before I did the eyelet detail there. And you can see I didn't do a full length sleeve. I did kind of a little bit longer than a what do they call that? Bracelet length, I think, bracelet length sleeve. I tend to like that because I always say I'm a push 'em upper. I always like to push up my sleeves, but I used 4 skeins and I have enough left that if I decide that I want full length sleeves, I can just add a little more length to the sleeves. So I'll wear it a bit and see if I decide if I want it in really cold months, I will probably need to add a little sleeve length, but maybe not, because I like this length anyway. So I would like to write this as a pattern. Is this something that you think anyone would be interested in? If so, we'll work on it. You can see, let me get up close here. You can see it's got a kind of an interesting line detail 3 times down the yoke, and then the eyelets. So it's a pretty comfortable sweater, I have to tell you. I'm really excited for a little bit cooler weather so I can wear it. Yeah. Okay, so that's the first project, first finish. I am going to look down at my notes today because I'm in a different location. I usually have a music stand with me and I have my notes on the music stand, but today I don't have that. So I'm just going to look down a little bit occasionally. All right, next thing I want to talk about. I told you last week that we are doing the Warm Ears Mal. Again, Warm Ears Make Along. And this is a hat make along. Hat, headband, hood, whatever you like to wear to keep your ears warm. And it is starting soon. Today is, as I said, September 12th, and we will be starting next Monday, September 16th. And that is why I really wanted to hop on today and make sure that everyone knows about the Warm Ears Mal. Now, this is being hosted in my Ravelry group, Chit Knits Ravelry group, which you'll find a link, and also on Instagram, and we'll use the hashtag WarmEarsMal24 on Instagram. And I'm so excited because some people have donated prizes, and we have some fun prizes for this make along, so you will want to join in. I currently have a discussion thread in the Ravelry group already, and I won't open the finished object thread until Monday, just so that, you know, we're starting Monday. We'll put the finished object thread in then. But plan some fun projects, and this morning I did a promotion for all my hat patterns that are on sale on Ravelry. That's where I sell my patterns, Chit Chat Knits designs, and they're all 40% off, and you don't need a coupon code or anything. Just look at the patterns, and if you like something, it's automatic. If you just add it to your cart, it's automatically 40% off. So maybe you'll like something you see there. If you do, great. This year, if you make a hat for charity, that gets you a double entry. So to do a double entry in the finished object thread, just list it twice. And if it's on Instagram, I'll just mark that that's a double entry when I do my notes. So I hope you join in. It's going to be a lot of fun. I have some great yarn sitting at home ready for a cast on, and I have a pattern that I want to do. So I am excited. Yeah. Okay. I have some more finished objects because I have been doing some fun knitting. I want to talk about another make along here. I'm going to stop before I show the next two things, because last time I talked about Down Cellar Studios Pigskin Party, and it is in full swing already. And this is a make along. It is football related, pigskin, get it, football. And this is going from now until February 10th, 2025. So it's a long make along. Participants are on teams. This is hosted on Ravelry. You can also post on Instagram. But it's been really fun chatting in the Down Cellar Studio Ravelry group with my team. I'm on Team 9, the Stitch and Blitzers. And so I have a couple of projects that I've finished already. So let me show you the first one. I made a pair of fingerless mitts, and I love these mitts. Look at these, aren't they fun? I'm gonna call these the string of beads mitts. Backside is just solid stockinette, and then this interesting detail down the back of the hand. And I'm just gonna make them fingerless mitts because some of us really just enjoy having fingerless mitts to wear. I made these with someone in mind. This someone, you know who you are, always has very cold hands. So I knew that this person needed some nice fingerless mitts to wear. So that was my motivation for this project. I used a twisted rib and then this fun stitch pattern, a little twisted rib, and then the thumb. Now, I have debated writing this in multiple sizes, but I think we're going to go with just one size. Let me tell you why. So I have a pretty average size hand, and you can see it fits me very well. My son has a large hand, and I had him try them on, and he said, "Mom, these are perfect. This is just what I would want." So I kind of think we're just going to go with one size. And the reason that we can do that is because this design is like, it acts like ribbing because it's knits and purls. So it acts like ribbing. So you see, when I take it off, it kind of, I don't want to say shrinks down, but it does, it's like a rubber band. It goes down. When you put it on, it stretches out. So I had my son put them on before I blocked them, and he said, "These are great, just how I want to wear them." This morning I had him try them on again after blocking, and again he said, "These are perfect. I love them." Not the color, of course, but he said, "They're great. They're great, Mom, just the way they are." So my friend who I'm gifting these to, and I think you already know who you are, has pretty small hands. So we will see how they work for her. Let me tell you about this yarn. This is called Mint Julep. Isn't that color? Ooh, it's showing up. It's maybe showing up just slightly lighter than it is. What I'm seeing is like right in here. That's the true color. Anyway, it's not available anymore. I'm so sad to say. And it's such a beautiful yarn. So, feels so good. This is from Wendy of Knitters Brewing Company, and unfortunately she doesn't dye anymore because, you know what, I would love a whole sweater out of this, but I understand sometimes, you know, we all retire at some point. I have this much left. So this could probably go into something, some stripes in something. And I think I will do that because I want to use every bit of it. Thank you, Wendy, for this gorgeous yarn. I love it. Okay, string of beads, mitts. I think I'll get this out to testers maybe next week and then put them out in the world because I'm loving them. I really want to knit I want to knit myself a pair. So I think I will try to do that soon. Another project. Now this is a crochet project. I saw, I think it was someone on in our Ravelry group this summer. Yes, that's where it was. In our Stash Bash thread. And she had made these wind spinners. And I thought, how fun is that? Now, you know, I'm not a great crocheter, but this was a pretty simple project, so I could do it. But they're kind of falling down. But anyway, I whipped this up just the other night, and I'm gonna take it camping this weekend and hang it in a tree by our camper or on the awning of the camper and let it blow in the wind and see what it does. My sister, I was showing my sister a picture online yesterday, and she said, you should crochet some little bells into it. That would be really fun. I may have to do that. I actually just bought some swivel hooks. So I just have a little, and then I just, you know, stitched it on. But anyway, we'll see that little swivel hook. We'll see what happens. Here, I think it's cute. The yarn I used is from Hobby Lobby. It's the, I'm looking here, Yarn Bee Minis. I was actually at Hobby Lobby with the grandkids the other day, and I'll tell you why in a minute here. But I just picked up these are just little 65-yard skeins. So I used all of the teal, all of the purple, and then I have a little bit left. I would have just used scraps, but I'm not home, so I wasn't able to do that, but I really think it's cute. And we have a screen porch at home, so I think that it would be cute hanging from the screen, somewhere in the screen porch too. Fun little project. It was kind of fun to do a project that you could just do in an evening. Pattern. I didn't really use a specific pattern. A couple, I looked on YouTube, and there's a lot of videos, and looked at, just Googled wind spinner, crochet wind spinner, and several of the patterns said to cast on 81 stitches, so that's what I did. And if you are interested in what I specifically did, I made a Ravelry project page, and the title of the project is Wind Spinner. And so I just wrote down what I did because there wasn't really a pattern. So anyway, cast on 81 stitches, and then I, with the pink, did one row of single crochet, turned, added the yellow, did a second row of single crochet, then I went to the purple and did 2 double crochets in each single crochet. So 2 double crochets. So you see I doubled my stitches. And then the teal, I did 3, let's show on the back side, 3 double crochets in each one. And then I decided I wanted it a little bit wider, so then I just did the yellow again, single crochet in each one. And then the purple, single crochet in each one. And that was it. Pretty simple. I used a size 5mm hook, and I think that's a USH. Fun little crochet project. And I used 177 yards of yarn. So we'll hang that up this weekend when we're camping and see if it'll blow in the wind. I think it's kind of cute. Oh, tell. Before I show you my current work in progress, I want to show you this little guy. Oh my goodness, isn't he adorable? And he is so soft. Over the weekend, on Saturday, the kids, ages 6 and 3, yes, I'm a brave woman, and I went to the Wisconsin Sheep and Wool Festival. It was fun. They liked seeing the sheep. We didn't see any alpaca or llamas. We only saw sheep. Maybe they had those on a different day, I don't know. But we walked through the, they call them the country stores, but they're the buildings that have the vendors. And this is all we bought. I was not going to be yarn shopping that day with those 2 little ones. But we got to feel soft yarn. They loved that. They picked out this little guy. I think he's gonna go home with me. I think I'm keeping him. Shh, don't tell them. They've already forgotten about him. So I'm just gonna bring him home, and then he's probably gonna show up on the podcast because I think he's so cute. He's so soft. Oh my goodness. Isn't he cute? So I was pretty proud of myself for getting out of there without buying yarn. But this was to just expose them and let them see things. And they were so well behaved. We ate a corn dog at lunch. We had the nicest visit with 2 ladies, a mother and daughter from Ohio. It was so fun to just sit at a table. They joined us at our table, and the kids were really well behaved, and we just had a nice visit. So that's the best part about going to these things, I think, is that you get to meet such nice people. I love this knitting community. There are just so many wonderful people, and it just warms my heart. All right, next, okay, on the needles, let me show you what I have on the needles. So I think I showed you this yarn last time. This is, again, my Bella Fio yarn that I love, Melissa. And this is a sock I'm knitting. I showed you the pink one I made a while back. And so I'm working on the pattern, writing the pattern. You know, sometimes I need to just revamp a few things, but this is it. I love it. You know, I use these little stitch counters. Isn't it pretty? Love it. But here's where you can help me out. I really need a name for these socks. I think, you know, I was gonna say like my original pattern beginnings on my computer says Winding Trails, but you know what? We need a better name. So can you help me out? Can you help me find a good name for this pattern? Is that pretty? And then a couple of these are gonna go down the foot, just a couple of these zigzags. The problem with naming patterns is that, you know, if you look on Ravelry, there are hundreds of thousands of patterns. And so you think you have this great name that you really love, and then you look on Ravelry and there's already like 5 patterns that have that name. So it's really hard to come up with interesting names that haven't already been taken. And I sort of like, you know, I sort of like the whimsical side of things. So if you have an idea, I'd love to hear it. So those I'll be working on. I started those just a couple days ago. I just love them. So I'm gonna keep working on those socks and get them done, because that, for the pigskin party, that gives me extra points because that's an exclusive Pro Shop sponsor. So I get extra points for that yarn. I love it. What else? Oh gosh, let me tell you. Now, I told you I'm here with my grandkids, right? They are ages 3 and 6. And my 6-year-old grandson said to me, Grammy, they call me Grammy, you need to knit me a sweater. I need a sweater. I said, okay, well, we'll figure it out. And then when we went to the Sheep and Wool Festival, he said, you know, Grammy, the weather's getting colder and I'm gonna need that sweater. So you need to get started. You can't wait until the weather's already cold. I need you to start my sweater and get it knit so that by the time the weather gets cold, I have my sweater. So that's what we need to do, because if he wants a sweater that I have made, then by gum, I'm going to make him a sweater. So we looked at Ravelry, we looked at patterns. He knew what he wanted. I actually picked out a few things and showed him and said, now what would you like? And he picked out what he wanted. And he has chosen the cartography pattern, and this is by Tin Can Knits. And I'll put a picture in here because I did a screenshot of the pattern to show you. But he's also very specific about the colors he wants. So that is one of the things we did when we went to the Wisconsin Sheep and Wool. We walked around at yarn vendors and he picked the colors that he wanted. Of course, you know, it wasn't in the right weight, but then I knew, and I took pictures of him with the colors so that I knew I could remember what he wanted. And he picked out definite colors for his sweaters. So I'll show you here. I put those colors together. so that I could show you. And what I did was I ordered Knit Picks yarn because it's a super wash. It's Knit Picks Swish DK, which is a super wash yarn that I think will work out well. So the colors, and we have a pattern. So now as soon as my Knit Picks order comes, I will be casting on right away because, you know, Grammy, the cold weather's coming and I'm gonna need my sweater. So you need to get it knit. So I guess I better get that done. Drop everything else and knit this kid a sweater because, you know, he's not always gonna want me to knit him a sweater. So we need to do this. I'll keep you posted on that front. All right. I was so heartwarmed last episode when people said that they liked the kindness stories, and they agreed with me that we just need to spread some kindness in this world today. So I thought I would end the cast today with a little story that happened a few years ago. And I may have told this story before, but I still think of it. And I think that's the key to acts of kindness, is that they stick with you. It was a small moment, but those small moments can stay with us for a lifetime. So let me tell the story. Okay, my husband had a rotator cuff surgery. I think it's about 3 years ago now, 3 years in October. And the surgery went well. He's a super athlete, basically. He's pretty much an elite mountain bike rider. And so he was not, he was up and walking every day. The day after surgery, he was up, he was walking, and I mean going for a walk, like not just walking around the house. We're talking a couple mile walk, and every day he was out hiking, walking. It took a while before he could get back on the bike, but nothing holds this guy down. I'm saying this because it was highly unlikely that he would have a blood clot. People have blood clots after surgeries from inactivity, but not this guy. He is very, he's a mover, he's a goer, he's an athlete. So about 2 weeks, maybe a week and a half, 2 weeks after the surgery, he woke me up early one morning in extreme pain. And we rushed right to the emergency room. And sure enough, it was a blood clot. So, it turned out great. It was not a problem. They were able to help him. Everything was great. So no worries there. But we rushed off to the ER at about 5 a.m. Now, friends, if you don't already know this, I'm going to tell you that I am a coffee drinker. I start my morning, no matter what time that is, with coffee. I call it my starter fluid. Well, rushing off to the hospital, I had not had my coffee, and I needed my coffee. So while they took him off for some tests, I don't know, whatever, medical tests, I thought, I'm going to run down to the hospital cafeteria and get some coffee. So down I went. At this point, we didn't know what was causing this extreme pain. So I was pretty much a nervous wreck. And I, got my coffee, and I was waiting in line to pay. And the gentleman in front of me turned to the cashier and said, "I'll be paying for hers as well." I think I had a little breakfast muffin or something in my coffee, and he just said, "I'm paying for hers as well." I'm almost getting teary thinking about it, because it meant so much to me at the time. It was just a coffee and a muffin. But that this total stranger did this act of kindness meant so much to me. So, what kind of things can we do as acts of kindness? What stories can you tell of acts of kindness? Will you please share them with me? I would love it if you would share, if you would send me an email at chitchatknits@gmail.com. Gmail.com, chitchatknits, and share your story, because I would love for us, for a time, especially in this difficult time right now, if we can share some good things that are going on in this world. I would be so honored to share your stories. I hope you'll join with me in doing this. And I also hope that you would love to join our Warm Ears Mal. We'll be starting on Monday. Get your yarn and your pattern and needles ready. Let's go. Thanks for joining me today. I hope all your making brings you joy. Bye for now.